I'm going crazy. 무뎌져.
John, where are you taking me? I'm so hungry. You patted your tummy, sulking all the way while he was driving somewhere from your university. When you will know it soon. In just a minute. You rolled your eyes, making a pout. Not even once in these 4 years of your university you fought with anyone, but it was his first day and you had a very good fight. And this devil Winnie was driving for half an hour. Here we are, before you eat me alive. He said, making you scoff at him, unbuckling the seat belt. You both came out of the car. You turned to see a restaurant. A restaurant? When was this built here? Now he chuckled and stood beside you. He poked your head. That's why I brought you here. It's new and the view from its terrace is amazing. Really? Then I'm excited to see it. Let's go. You ran inside and he shook his head, walking behind you. Yeah, are you a toddler? Why are you running like this? You both reached terrace and the view really amazed you. The evening time had already begun and the sunset was giving beautiful vibes. Wow, this is so beautiful. Why didn't you bring me here soon? You asked with a glare, but he scoffed. Look who is saying this, Miss Wang Wan. For your kind information, I have asked you to hang out many times, but your books and study are always my biggest enemy. You giggled after remembering it's your fault, but when you looked around, there were not many people. But Jungkook, why are there so few people? By the view and place, the public should be rushing here. He nodded. You were right. You sat in front of him on the couch. This restaurant is not open to public yet, only for selected families. Directly, if we say, for powerful people like mafia and businessmen, not ordinary people. He shrugged his shoulder at your words. That means you were right. This is the thing you were complaining about before. You sometimes hate this standard word. What do you want to eat? You were literally so hungry a few minutes ago and now you start to stare at things, he asked, looking at you. You gave him a little smile. Suddenly I don't feel much appetite. You women are difficult to understand. Whatever, I'm hungry, let's order. You both ordered some light food as it was almost evening and dinner time was near. I forgot to tell you about something. You stopped eating and looked at him. What did you forget? According to your father's statement, Suga Hyung is going to be the leader, so he decided to announce it today in front of everyone. Oh, that's good, you said with a sad smile. Jungkook noticed you became sad hearing about your father. You don't have any problem with Suga being a leader and your guardian. He is your father's most trustworthy and closest person. He can manage everything perfectly. But losing your father suddenly was the most heartbreaking in your life. Suddenly you felt a manly hand hovering over your hand on the table. You looked up to meet his doe eyes. Don't worry about it much. That's how this world works. We need to control our emotions to live a normal life. We will end up being depressed and weak. You know that he was right. Now what's with the poker face? I need to see that boxy smile. He showed his bunny teeth that eventually made you smile. That's like my baby girl, he said and continued eating, but his words made you skip a heartbeat. Suddenly you both heard heels noise. When did you start to wear these sharp heels? You looked at him confused. I'm not wearing heels, Jungkook. You showed him your shoes by lifting your leg up. He laughed at your actions and you too. Lol, best friend doesn't need manners. What a colorless date. You both heard a feminine voice. Turning around, you both witnessed a face which you will expect to never see in your life. Woo Sora? Yes, Woo Sora, your dad's enemy daughter. Whose daughter? You know her from childhood by meeting her in some unwanted meetings of your father with the mafias. Don't ask about her personality, you will see it by yourself. But I just don't like the vibe around her. And how dare she call our hangout colorless? Looks like Joan remembered my beautiful name. She flipped her hair, talking in her low-pitched voice, while you and Chunk just blinked at this shit. Sora, we have met many times, so it's normal to know each other. You stated a fact on which Chunk bobbed his head while eating, but Sora rolled her eyes at your statement, curling her hair in her fingers. She walked beside Jungkook. He looked at her with a questioning face. I like to make this colorless friendly date a little colorful, Mr. John. She placed her hand on his shoulder. Jung backed his shoulder to slip off her hand. I don't think so, he said, making her open her big mouth. What do you mean? Jung scoffed and continued eating while you kept watching the drama happily. In simple language, Miss Sora, I said no. I'm having a proper lunch with my best friend and I don't allow any outsider to disturb us. Her eyes widened and she glared at you, gritting her teeth while you control your laugh. For sake, John, her father is already. Why are you taking this bitch side? Now she has crossed the limits. Jungkook kept the spoon down and stood up. His eyes were towering over her. How dare you say that? Sora smirked. Because she deserved this. Her mother left her years ago, and now her father. Jung gritted his teeth, controlling his anger. Will you leave, or should I call security and ban this restaurant for Wu family? Sora scoffed at you and walked away with her annoying heel noise. Jung sighed, looking at you. Ban, don't mind her. She was just jealous of you, he said, reassuring you. I think we need to leave. I don't have any appetite. You stood up to walk, but he caught your wrist and hugged you tightly. You dug your face in his chest. Your hands gripped his jacket tightly. Don't take her words seriously. He caressed your hair while hugging you. He cupped your face, looking into your eyes. You're the best thing that ever happened to me and Hyung's life. These people only know how to talk bad and bullshit. They will never know what a person is going through in reality. But I know how strong and perfect you are. He pecked your forehead and you felt blessed to have him as your best friend. He never leave you in your hard times. Suddenly Jungkook's phone rang. You broke the hug and he answered the call. Yes, Hyung. According to his talking style, looked like Jin had called him. Okay, we will be there. He placed the phone back in his jacket. Jin Hyung called. We need to go for the party tonight. You nodded. He grabbed your hand in his and left the restaurant. At night, you entered the venue with Jungkook. He was wearing a black tuxedo and you were wearing a grey long classy dress. Its glowing aura was attracting people's attention to you. The party was held in a famous club owned by your father. All people here were mafia and underworld with their families, or you can say the heirs they want to continue their wealth with. Many people's eyes were on you because of your father's power, but now it's modern. After your father left, his enemies must be allowed to snatch his everything. You were standing in your thoughts when Chang called you. Wayan looked at him. What are you thinking this deep? You shook your head, saying, Nothing serious, it's just my first time without dad attending a party, and I can already feel the change in my surroundings. Chang looked down, agreeing with you. Right, don't trust a person who talks to you as sweet as honey. It will be a trap. That's right, sometimes the sweetest things become poison in no time. Just then Suga and Jin came towards you with a serious poker face. They can't show much emotions here or it will be easy for their enemies to target them. Finally you guys are here. We were waiting for a while. Jung hugged his hand and you looked at Suga who was hesitant, so you decided to decrease his hesitation. You hugged him by taking him off guard. A brother shouldn't hesitate to show his love towards his sister. Your words relaxed Suga and he hugged you back. Then I'm happy to say that I'm blessed to have a sister like you. His words made you feel happy. It's like you can see your father's shadow in him. I think my time of being the youngest one is finished, he said, sulking. You looked at him with a smirk. Pa, can you smell something burning? Oh, I can smell very well. The smell is so bad, he said, teasing Jungkook with you. You laughed and they became happy too after seeing you happy. I think Jun is here. I will go to him or he will get bored. Jin left to meet Namjoon and I will meet with them. You both stay together. Jungkook, don't leave her side. Suga said to Jungkook and Jungkook nodded. He left and now you were standing with Jungkook. Until you both heard the most irritating voice. Look like we have some special people here, she said and walked towards you and Jungkook. She was wearing a tight red velvet dress. Her clothes was literally all out and her dress was until her upper thighs. Jungkook poked his tongue inside his cheek as he remembered her words for you at restaurant. Welcome Sora, I hope you are enjoying the party. You said because now it's your responsibility to take care of the guests. If your father was here, he have done same, you thought. Sora looked at you from top to bottom, checking your dressing. This dress, I think I saw it somewhere. Oh, maybe a cheap shop. She said in a sarcastic way like the dress she was wearing was from her own money. For your kind information, this dress is the latest design made by Korea's most famous designer. Jung spoke, making her shut her mouth in embarrassment. Whatever, I'm looking more beautiful than her, right Jun? She moved towards him, slowly pressing her hand on his chest. Jung eyed her unwanted actions. I can do everything better than her, she said in a slow and seductive voice. Jung rolled his eyes, grabbing her wrist. throwing it away that she moved back by pressure. What the? She held her wrist like it was the most precious thing that got broken. If I didn't give you permission to touch me, then don't you dare to lay your dirty fingers on me, or I will forget you're a woman. She again rolled her eyes and went from there. She had both parents, but she had no manners. He looked at her, saying this with an annoying expression. She's the same as she was in childhood. Rich, bratty kids. Leave it, I have something special. He looked at him confused. What? You bowed like a prince, forwarding his hand to you. May I have a dance with the most beautiful angel tonight? He giggled at the choice of his words and gave you a hand in his. He walked in the center where the couples were dancing, taking your body in his hands. He slowly started to move. His gaze was making you feel some tingling sensation that was making you shy all of a sudden. But a little farther was someone keeping the evil eye on you and the reason for your happiness. I heard Dad chose you as a leader for this latest mission. She talked to a man standing in a shadow of lights. Her eyes were on you and Jungkook, who was making you smile and dancing with you. Yes, Mr. Wu has made a very good choice this time, he said, folding his arm on his chest. We will see that soon, that how much of a good choice Dad made. She scoffed with her gaze still on you. He asked Sora for a dance and she gladly accepted it. Now they were also dancing in the circle of couples. Jungkook, you called him as he can't stop complimenting you. He smiled and answered you. Yes, you looked down and then in his eyes. Few days ago you wanted to tell me something. What do you want to say? He gulped, remembering but Suga didn't give him permission still, so he can't tell you about it. He again have to lie or hide it from you, and that's the most hateful thing he did. From childhood he always shared his inner thoughts with you, but now his thoughts are like imprisoned. And I said I'll say it on the right time. The time is still not here. Saying this he sighed, but you got confused. He didn't make eye contact with you that he always made. That means he's hiding a very big sensitive thing inside him that he wants to say, but there is something stopping him from it. You thought. Suddenly in dance, the switching partner step came up and everyone started to switch their partners, and Jungkook trailed you around and you got switched to other men and Jungkook with other women. You? Yes, me. Let's have a good dance, Jeon. Jung doesn't have a choice. In 2 minutes the partner will be switched again and he will dance with you again. Hi. The person dancing with you said you didn't know him. Hi. You looked here and there but not him. I'm Jimin. Park Jimin. You tilted your head because you have heard this name somewhere, but you don't remember where. Hey beautiful. He called you for your attention. What? His grip on your waist increases. You are not feeling good. That guy John is your only best friend or more? What do you mean? He scoffed. A lover? Or maybe he's hiding something big from you? Your eyes widened. You pushed him. I'll go to washroom, so excuse me. She went and Jimin smirked, leaving from there. Just then Jungkook's eyes were roaming in the hall, finding you. Vian, where did she go? He pushed Sora away. John, where are you going? He didn't stop and went to find you. Sora smirked. So late, John, that Vian will not be here anymore. Meanwhile, you enter the washroom and open the water tap. You remember what the Jimin guy told you. A lover, but if he is hiding something from you. Does Jung have feeling for you? Or is it just your thoughts? You splash water on your face to cool down. You're feeling anxious? You just don't want to lose your loved one because every person whom have came near you have left you alone on this world path. You don't want Chunk to leave you too. Suddenly you find someone behind you. You stood straight to see the person, but the person placed a handkerchief on your nose and mouth. The fragrance stopped your brain working and you fainted in the person's arm. Let's see what the Chun and Min will do to save you.